Thank you, Madam Speaker. Today, I invite this House to take a walk down memory lane. Let us go back to Tuesday, 18 October 2022, almost 2 years ago, when Premier Lesufi visited Eldorado Park after a series of gang-related killings and violence. The community cried out for help, and Premier Lesufi took the stage passionately declaring, "Our #1 priority is to fight crime." The department had a budget of 500 million, but it is now 8 billion. We will fight crime with technology. We will install CCTV in all townships and hostels. We will buy 300 new vehicles and train 6,000 safety wardens. We will buy 1,800 drones and 5 helicopters. I will do everything to fight crime. These words filled the community with hope, believing that change was imminent. During his State of the Province address this year, the Honourable Premier Panyaza Lesufi reiterated that combating crime would be a top priority for his government. Yet, despite his commitments, the budget for community safety has been decreased. The department received just over 2.3 billion, with a decline of 13.9% compared to the previous year's 2.7 billion. Additionally, the department confirmed the procurement of only 30 drones and 2 helicopters. The wage bill for the crime wardens increased by 600 million, yet the budget for goods and services decreased. This brings us to the giant invisible elephant within the Community Safety Department, the Integrated Provincial Command Centre. This command centre has been on the budget for the last 5 years, since I first joined this legislature, but remains a figment of our imagination, a pipe dream for the residents of Gauteng. If we are serious about combating crime, we cannot be driven by emotions, Mr. Premier. We cannot stand on stages while families grieve the loss of their loved ones, while young children are brutally murdered in front of their parents during hijackings, or young women are raped and killed walking home alone in the dark, and still make empty promises. You should feel ashamed of playing with the lives and emotions of our people. Yes, 30 drones were purchased, far fewer than the promised 1,800. 2 helicopters were acquired, but that is also insufficient compared to the promised 5, you said. Panic buttons have been distributed in limited areas, but how does this address crime without an integrated command centre to monitor, analyse data and allocate resources effectively? 2 years later, the training of a drone and helicopter pilot is still underway. This brings me to the question, how were we even able to leverage these resources without trained drone and helicopter pilots? Were these resources just gathering dust? In the Western Cape, the DA employs cutting-edge technology integrated with municipalities and the LEAP Officer program to strategically identify crime hotspots and allocate resources effectively. By utilising evidence-based data and regular crime statistics, the Western Cape can proactively address crime rather than waiting until the end of a quarter for the police minister to report on the increases in criminal activity. This proactive approach involves collaborating with communities and the entire security cluster to combat crime. During a recent committee meeting, I raised a crucial question regarding the data used to allocate the crime prevention wardens. The response was simply, we use the crime statistics. I also inquired about the impact of these crime wardens have had on the fighting crime in Gauteng. But unfortunately, there was no clear answer. Mr. Premier, or is it now Mr. MEC for Community Safety, you were present in that meeting and had to wait for your HOD to respond. The answer provided was political in nature, lacking any substantive outcome. This prompted me to analyse the crime statistics myself, and it is disheartening to report that from the 1st of May, during the intake of the crime wardens, Gauteng ranked first in the country, with some of the following crime categories: community-reported serious crimes, rape, sexual assault, assault with the intent to inflict grievous bodily harm, carjackings, kidnappings. The latest crime stats revealed that Gauteng still remains the first nationally in the same categories. Furthermore, 13 police stations consistently rank among the top 30 highest for reported contact crimes in the country, a statistic that has not changed year after year. We continue to rank among the highest for serious crimes such as murder, rape and other violent offences. This clearly indicates that the promises made by Premier Lesufi in 2022 were nothing more than empty words. After 2 years, it is evident that crime is not a priority in Gauteng, and this budget is a testament to it. Why has the community safety budget been decreased, particularly in the core programs of a department, given the high levels of crime in the province? Why are we not addressing the critical vacancies that remain unfilled? Surely crimes such as ransom and banking app-related kidnappings, human trafficking, illegal mining, gangsterism, violent hijackings and infrastructure vandalism should alarm us all. There are significant concerns regarding the department's failure to finalise the establishment of a provincial integrated command centre and the quality of training provided to the crime wardens. Additionally, the constant rise in crime and the failure to reduce road fatalities calls for urgent intervention. And Premier, I just want clarity. Are you establishing agencies or law enforcement agents? Maybe you should just find out what are you doing in this department. This budget should inspire confidence that it intends to address these issues, but with reductions this is not the case. The department has failed. It is clear that none of these projects that have been implemented over the last few years have worked. For this reason, one can understand why Premier Lesufi has chosen to be the bride at every wedding and the corpse at every funeral. He has decided to take on dual roles of Premier and MEC for community safety and MEC for everything else. It's so bad that he has even moved the responsibility for community safety to his office. Let me explain to you why. Premier Lesufi has realised that someone is undermining his legacy and dreams, and this situation has spiralled out of control. Gauteng is far from safe, and anyone who lives here will be able to attest to it. Premier Lesufi, it is time for you to acknowledge this failure. Moving community safety into your office and closer to you won't solve the problem. You must vacate your seat before more lives are lost. Allow the DA to take the reins of his province. We have the knowledge and the experience necessary to turn your dream into a reality, where residents in Gauteng will feel safe. Until we achieve this vision, until fighting crime is prioritised with tangible results, and until we are no longer among the top 50 highest crime areas, the DA cannot support this budget. It is time for change, and it is time for the DA to rescue this province. We can't afford any more lies, Sufis.